Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Time for another gaming vlog. As you can see, I've only done one video. This is the only video so far I've done this week. The reason for that is, and I think I explained this in my last video, I hope I did, that my day job, I'm a pool guy. I take care of the swimming pools for a local city. So I'm a full-time employee, and I handle I'm the maintenance manager for all of the swimming pools for the city. And we just ended our summer season, and when the kids go back to school. And of course, the first week they go back to school, we shut down our whole facility. I drain the swimming pools, and we try to cram 2 weeks worth of work into 1 week so that we can be open again the following Monday. And I will, minimum this week, I will work 50 hours. That's minimum. Of course, my wife has it worse than I do. She's a hairstylist, and with back to school, she will work 60 hours this week. So between the two of us, between my wife and I, we will work minimum 110 hours this week. So, needless to say, this whole week, this is the first day that I've come home where I felt like I had enough energy to do a video. The other days I've come home, I've gotten a little something to eat, took a shower, the whole bit, and then I sat on the couch and fell asleep. So, anyway, so let's talk gaming. I'm sure I had at least one person who asked me to weigh in about this whole BioWare thing. Now, I have spoken ad nauseum about my feelings towards these big corporate game studios that we deal with now. The worst offender, of course, far and above, if they were giving out awards for the worst companies in America, EA has to be at almost, if they're not at the top, they got to be in the top 3. Bank of America is probably in the number 1 spot in my book, but that's a story for another time. So EA has killed so many game studios, smaller game studios that they have bought up and then just outright closed them from the get-go. Or they have, through attrition and whatnot, they've let them fade away. Well, it seems, sadly as it is, that they might be adding BioWare to that list. In short, you guys have already heard all this. You guys have heard either, I'm sure you guys watch The Quartering and Heel versus Babyface and all those other channels where they go through all the gaming news. Like every hour they're putting out another video about gaming news and everything, because I guess they can, because I don't know if they work full time or if if YouTube is their job. So, but they do a damn good job at it. So, because that's where I get my gaming news, is from them guys. So, but in short, we had 2 producers, one on Anthem and one on the next Dragon Age game, that both quit BioWare in this last week. And so it seems that BioWare is running rudderless at this point. The Anthem has been a disaster from the get-go. I didn't play it. I had no intention of playing it. It's not something that even appealed to me. So, but even if it had, I don't know. Everything I'd heard about it, I probably would have just avoided it. Now, the Dragon Age thing, I love Dragon Age. The very first Dragon Age was amazing. I consumed that like nonstop until I finished it. I didn't play much of the second one, and I didn't play the third one at all. So the fourth one, it would have to be amazing for me to want to dip my toes back into it as a franchise. If it was like the first one, then yeah, that would be fantastic. But I don't know if it can even be salvaged at this point, and especially if like the producer left, and so. But again, we've gone over this before. What EA has done to the video game industry is diabolical. I know it's all about money. It's all about profit and all that. So I get that they're a mega corporation and they've got to. I get that that's their mindset, but I don't understand how they can be so short-sighted that they can't see that it's eventually going to kill their bottom line if they keep doing this shit. So, but they can't see it. So that's that. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on that. But the D&D game back here, the first edition D&D game, AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, where we left off last time was that this guy that we had gone on a manhunt for, Herbie, we had got him, and we knew that there was this necromancer that we were pretty sure wanted him dead and probably wanted us dead so that we were the loose ends and we couldn't talk about, because he was tracking us and we knew he was tracking us, and we'd come up with a plan to get rid of the tracking device that this guy had put on us, this necromancer had put on us, and we decided, well, we're going to skedaddle and go somewhere else. We sent the tracking device one direction down the river, and we were going to travel the other way and try and catch a ship. So this last session, we finally were successful in flagging down a ship and getting a ship to come over, and we were able to parlay and convince them enough that we were not bandits. We were not going to rob them. We just needed a ride. Our female party member is played by a woman too. Her character decided to flash them to try and get them to stop, and that almost completely backfired because, according to the guys on the ship, that's like a telltale sign of bandits. That's the kind of shit that the bandits pull to get them to stop, and that's the red flag, So that almost backfired, but we somehow managed to get them to get us on the ship. We convinced them to pay them a lot of money to get us to the city where we were going to take this teleport. As I've spoken about before, in this campaign, our DM, this world that he's created, everything is, you travel from city to city via teleporters, because the wilderness is just so dangerous that most people just don't do that. And they have a token system for the teleporters, and they're operated by the mage guilds and all that, and it's the infrastructure. So we knew that, and we knew we can get to a teleporter, we can get the hell out of Dodge, we can go to a different city. The tracker's going the other way, and so we did that. So we get to this other city, and we decide that the best thing to do is to get out of town. Now we've transported way the hell away to another city. Let's get out of town. Let's go in search of adventure, as we are adventurers, and get the hell out of here. Now, at some point in all this, Herbie disappears. The guy that we went on the manhunt for, that we had with us. Now, we never really did know Herbie's true motivations, or whether he was telling us the truth about anything or whatnot. Remember, we were supposed to bring him back to that necromancer, but because of the things that transpired, we no longer trusted him, that if we brought this guy back, he wasn't just going to kill him and then kill us and have everything tied up in a nice little bow, because nobody can talk about anything because we're all dead. So we take Herbie with us thinking, well, he's got nowhere else to go. He can hang with us. Well, he disappears. So our characters in our party, we are befuddled. We don't know if he ran away. We don't know if somebody grabbed him when we weren't looking. We don't know. Now, Greyhawk, out of character, I know exactly what happened. And so does everybody else. Of course, that's out of character. Out of character, we know that the assassin in our party went to his guild and said, hey, look, we were hired to get this guy, and I don't want a reputation. I'm speaking as his character, as the assassin. I don't want a reputation as not following through on a contract. So Jonathan, the player, is playing the assassin. He came up with all this. He's like, hey, I want to be known as I come through on my contracts, but I can't take this guy back because I don't think that we're going to come out of it alive. So he basically convinces them to at some point to just grab Herbie and then make it known to this necromancer that the contract has been fulfilled by our party. Now, the assassin character did not let any of our characters in on any of that. So as far as we're concerned, he just disappeared. We have no idea what happened to him. But I thought it was a very good bit of role-playing on the part of Jonathan that he wanted to establish his reputation as somebody who gets a job done. That's brilliant. So we take, now that we are Herbie-less now, he's no longer with us, we take off, we leave the city in search of adventure, and we don't get too far out, and we run into a couple of ogres, and we had to battle with them, and that's where the night ended. So we're not sure what we're going to stumble into next time. We're not going to play this Friday, because obviously I'm working like a madman, and tomorrow, Friday, is going to be a very long day for me, so we will not be playing tomorrow. But the following week we will be. So we're not sure how that's going to end up. So that's the update on the campaign. It's quite a bit of fun. We're having a lot of fun with it. The role-playing aspects and everything. I'm playing the cleric, so I get to a new town. I got to go to the local church, and I've got to pay some tithing and do the whole bit. I got to do all that stuff. So that's what I've been doing. Now, let's talk about World of Warcraft Classic that's going to launch on Monday. As you all know, I am going to dive 100% back into this because I love the original World of Warcraft before they fouled it all up. So I know that I'm going to be deeply engrossed in it. I've said that before. One of the things I did to prepare was I bought these on Amazon. These are the World of Warcraft Chronicles. This is Volume 1. And these are beautiful, beautiful books. Hardbound books. Now, when I bought them, I thought these were going to be novels. The way the descriptions read it was like it tells you the whole history of Azeroth and all that. And I was thinking they were going to be novels. They are not. However, they are very much true to their name. They chronicle the entire history of the game, of the world, and with a lot of illustrations and so forth. So there is a example, and there's tons of that stuff and beautiful artwork, and it goes through and it tells you basically the history of everything. And so even though they're not novels, they're fantastic. I'm not giving it a full review here because I haven't finished it, but I've got, I'm about halfway done with it. And yeah, I think it's perfect for getting ready for Classic. You know, getting all this knowledge about the backstory and all that. I love origin stories and all that stuff. So if you are also thinking about doing Classic and you're really into the game, you'll see on Amazon these things are highly rated, and I think they're not that expensive, I think, and they're fantastic. So I'm going to be on the Fairbanks PvP realm. That's where I reserved my names. I was able to get Greyhawk, so that was the main one. I had to get Greyhawk. I had to get that one. So I got that one. And yes, I am going to start a guild. I am not going to say what the name is until after I've secured the name, for obvious anti-trolling reasons. So it'll be Fairbanks server, Alliance, and I will, as soon as I have the name for the guild, I will do a video and you guys will have that. Because I've had a few people that have hit me up in comments and sent me messages. I think, yeah, one person sent me a message. And the person that sent me a message on Battle.net, I gave you the wrong server name. I think I said Whitemane. I don't know why that was on my brain, but I'm going to be on Fairbanks. So to whoever that was that asked me, I said Whitemane. I think it was because they had been talking about, I'd been seeing a lot of videos about the servers being overpopulated, and they were asking people from Harad and Whitemane to start characters on the newer servers they've just created to release some of that pressure, the population pressure. And I think that's what was in my brain when I answered. But to whoever that was, Fairbanks. Sorry about that. So that's it. Hopefully I'll get through the rest of this tomorrow. I'm going to be working the weekend too, so that come Monday, get everything back to normal, and then I can dive into World of Warcraft Classic and continue with our tabletop adventures back here. So that's it, guys. You're caught up, and we will catch you on the flip side.